Do not let your fear of speaking in this language keep you away from achieving this fluency. I know that you all have been struggling a lot to get rid of this fear of speaking in this language. So, what are the tips and what are the methods that we have to follow and we have to implement to make ourselves feel more comfortable and to get this fear out of our mind? So, let's take a look at these tips one by one. If we talk about the tip number one, it is about selecting or choosing speaking activities that create less fear. Yes, you heard me right. Whenever we are opting for any speaking activities, we have to go for a speaking activity that create less fear in us. What do you mean by that? For example, whenever we want to talk with someone, what do? We randomly choose a random person or any language learner, right? This is what we actually do. That time what happens? That is going to be our first time to talk in this language. So we often, of course, it is natural to feel that hesitation and that fear also. So there is nothing wrong to feel that hesitation when we are talking to a random person for the first time, and we have that fear of speaking in this language also. So but how to overcome that fear? Whenever you want to talk in this language, you have to select speaking activities wisely. Do not go for random person or any language partner at first itself, because it will not surmount the fear of speaking this language. So just listen to me carefully. What do I mean by speaking activities? When you are selecting a speaking activities, it should be very easy and very simple. So what are those activities? Activities means just talking to yourself. Yes, these activities do not require any another person. Of course, there should be no involvement of any other person, because you are there for yourself. You can practice to yourself. There are so many activities, there are various speaking activities that can be done by yourself. So, the first thing is talking to yourself. Of course, this is the first thing that everybody does. And second one is talking, or talking in front of the mirror. This is also a great way of improving your English. This is a great way of improving your English. And the third thing is reading or something, when you are reading any novel or any book. This can be just like a speaking activity. You can do this either. And whenever you are watching any video in YouTube or something, you just do the shadowing method. This shadowing method also yields good results. So these are the activities that you can choose for, or that you can opt for when you are doing speaking activity, when you are practicing in this language. So this is what you have to do in step number one. When we talk about the step number two, it is about start conversations through social media apps. I know that if I tell you that you don't use social media and you prohibit yourself from using this social media applications, then will you guys utilize, will you guys uninstall? No, not at all, because who am I to tell you to uninstall the social media apps? And we know very well that it has become a part and parcel of our lives, the social media apps and this mobile and everything. So here we have to utilize that social media apps time wisely. How can we use it? Whenever we disclose social media applications, what we do, we just scroll and we just do chatting with our friends, or we just do like a status, watching status or uploading status, right? So here we have to think in an innovative way, how to utilize our time to improve our fluency, or to improve or to reach that fluency as early as possible. So here the activity that you have to do is, whenever you are chatting with someone, you just try to chat in this language, that is English, whatever the language that you are learning. You just try to text them in this language, either relatives or friends or your colleagues or anyone. Just ask them to chat in this language or to text in this language, because then only you can push yourself forward to improve or to elevate this language. And this is one of the best ways to get rid of the fear of speaking in this language. Here we can get enough time to think about what we want to say, right, when we are texting to someone in this language. So you are going to get ample time in your hands when you are texting. You do not have to fear about the mistakes also, and you have that luxury to use the Google translator as well if you need. But I prefer and I suggest you guys to not use about, like, if it is okay if you guys use about only 50% that Google translator, but most of the times try to avoid using translator and try to give work to your brain every time. Okay, just try to do these things when you are texting someone. And one more activity, when you are uploading any status, try to tag any picture or any short video or anything. Try to describe what is happening in that video and what is there in that picture in English. You know what, this is the beauty, guys, beauty. This is what I used to do when I was using WhatsApp and Telegram also. In Telegram, I used to text my friends in this language, and in WhatsApp, I used to upload status every single day in English. I used to write around 3 to 4 lines under that, status. This is what I used to do. No matter what others think of your status and why she is writing all this fuss and about all these things, just think of your improvement and your progress every single day. You are definitely gonna observe or notice a massive change after passing some weeks or some months, for sure. I can assure you this, because this is what exactly I did, and I also highly recommend you guys to implement the same task. So whenever you are opening or disclosing social media applications, do this thing. Very simple. I'm not asking you to mug up this thing or to mug up that and then dictate it to me. Not. It is very simple. You are, of course, even if someone says do not use social media, you can't, right? That means you can't prevent yourself from opening those accounts. I know that. So that is why I'm trying to tell you, use it wisely and try to do these things. So this is what exactly you have to do in tip number 2. When we talk about the tip number 3, do not run after perfection. Actually, when we start talking in this language, what happens? We always expect ourselves to be there. Very high, very high. That means we do not want ourselves to make any mistakes. We want flawless, crystal clear language whenever we speak out, whenever we pop out some words in this language. How can it be possible? Is it our native language? No. Are we very perfect at this language when we are born? No, we can't get this language innate, like naturally. We have to struggle and we have to make mistakes. And always remember to make mistakes. If you are making mistakes, that means you are growing, you are learning. And this is one of the best ways to conquer the fear of speaking in this language. Yes. Do not run after that perfection. Just accept yourself, accept the way you are, and accept the way you talk, accept the way you pronounce the words. Do not feel ashamed, do not feel shy. Why my accent is like this? You might be from village, you might be from city. When we talk about the accents, it varies a lot from person to person. That accent, it creates a lot of difference in the way one speaks this language. So do not worry about your accent. Once you start involving yourself in this language and speaking in this language, you will automatically change everything. Your accent and your pronunciation and the way you construct the sentences, everything. So what all I wanted to say here is, do not just think about the perfection all time. You have to make mistakes. That is what I need you to do. If you make more mistakes, that means you are learning more and you are trying to running after that fluency. You are trying to get rid of this fear of speaking in this language. Try to hug that fear of speaking in this language. Try to hug that fears and try to accept them and try to overcome those fears every single day by just doing little activities and day by day. So these are the simple things that you have to do. Okay, so just embrace your mistakes and accept the way you are, and just give yourself some time to think in this language, and just know about that you need some time. You need some time to be perfect at this language. Okay, so this is about the tip number 3. When we talk about the tip number 4, it is about just start speaking regularly. Yes, this is what I mentioned a lot of times. Of course, I mention it because without speaking, we can't expect ourselves to just ace this fluency, right? We can't. So, speaking plays a pivotal role in this language. And if we want to surmount the fear of speaking in this language, we have to speak it, right? Speak out, just speak your mind. That is it. You do not think about what are the mistakes and what are the mistakes I'm making, and what about the sentence structure, and what about the vocabulary. Did I do any mistake? Do I sound stupid? It is okay. Even if you feel awkward, even if you feel very embarrassed at that moment, but just try to embrace that fear, embrace those mistakes, and start moving on forward. Because nobody can be perfect at first when we are learning something new. Everybody has to make mistakes, right? So that is the only mantra to achieve the fluency, or to eliminate all this fear, or just to disappear. That is actually makes this fear disappear gradually if you follow these tips. So just start speaking to yourself regularly. If you have a partner, then you can choose here. You can try to choose a comfortable language partner. Select a comfortable partner with whom you can share all the things without any hesitation, without any fear. And it should be a very less stressful way to converse in this language. Because if for example, when you are speaking with a person with whom we are uncomfortable, then we can't speak in this language even if we are proficient in this language. So that is how the rule is. So try to select a person with whom you could be very comfortable, and you with whom you do not feel like a fish out of the water. Okay, so that is the activity that you have to perform here in this last tip. So these are the things that you have to follow, and you have to incorporate to just get this fear out of your mind. It can be done easily in the snap of a finger. You just do not worry about that fluency and that about this fear. Just accept the way you are and move on forward, and start improving yourself. Start shining up yourself, and start polishing up your skills day by day, day by day. Then you'll gradually notice a massive change in your English journey. So, finally, I wanted to say that the more we do something regularly, the less fear we have towards it. So, just conquer that fear and just keep on going forward. That is it. Okay, I hope you would definitely implement and incorporate these methods in your English language to get rid of this fear of speaking in this language. Okay, bye bye.